So you've just picked up your kids from a big day at school, and what's the first thing you want to do? Get home, flick on the television. They want to just sit there and unwind, let their brains defrag the day that has happened. But the question is doing that actually good for them? My name is Christian Floater. Come with me and we'll discuss some of the things that might be going on behind the scenes with too much screen time. Yeah, so screen time. It's a little bit of a controversial topic because it's really fun to watch that. And the research out there, it can be a little bit biased, I think is the best word to say. But even the Australian government has specific rules in regards to the amount of screen time that we should be watching. As a 12-month-old or younger, absolutely nothing, no screen time for kids under 12 months of age. Up until 5 years of age, you can have 2 hours of screen time in a day. And after that point, up until 17, you're looking at a maximum of around 3 hours in a 24-hour period. So what does the research have to say on all of this? Let's have a look. Right, so first up, we're going to be looking at this paper, looking at the proportion of infants who actually meet the guidelines that talk about screen and sleep and tummy time and all that kind of fun stuff. And hey, guess what? Not many people are that good at it. We can look here, if we scroll down, we're looking at, well, firstly, here you go, sedentary behavior, screen time is not recommended, We go down further, inside this one, we can see the Table 2, looking at the proportion of infants who meet the guideline, screen time, only 27.9% of those infants actually meet screen time requirements. You know, they're encouraged to have no screen time under 2 years of age. I said 12 months, 2 years of age. And so it tells us that we're not really adhering to that guideline, or we're not aware of that guideline. So the second paper I want to be looking at is actually a flow on from that one. So what ends up happening if we're watching screens for an extended period of time? Well, this is a great little paper that looks at screen time exposure at 1 year of age and the development of communication and problem-solving delays. Now, this is quite fun. Have a look. When we look at this one down here, we can see screen time. It's all talking about screen time. And if we flick on down into the introduction here, it's essential to examine whether screen time is associated with child developmental domains and which one. So they're looking to see what is actually going on. They're trying to see what screen time can do. And when we get down to the results here, we found, or the discussion I should say, we found this study supports previous research showing an association between screen time among young children and subsequent developmental outcomes, okay? There's a dose relationship. We can see it right here in this paragraph. Dose-response association. The longer we are exposed to screens, the more likely we develop developmental delays in communication and problem solving. Communication is an important one here because there is another condition that we typically associate with problems with social and language communication: autism. There is a study right here that we can see that associates screen time exposure at 1 year of age and the development of autism. And it's not a little bit either. When we look inside this study here, they did 2 time frames, 1 year of age and 3 years of age. And if they expose kids to television at 1 year of age, even for 1 hour, it increases the likelihood of being diagnosed with autism by the time we're 3 years of age. This one right here. And in fact, there's a very fancy table that has a look at this one. And we can see the adjusted odds ratio. When we look at no screen time, that's reference. So there's no change to the amount of autistic diagnosis. But if we have less than 1 hour, but still some time, we are now 1.16 times more likely to have that diagnosis of autism when we're 3 years of age. Cut that to 2 to 4 hours, we're looking at 2.87 times. And 2.64 times for those of greater than 4 hours in duration. So there's a linkage between the amount of screen time that we're having and developmental impacts in language and problem solving, and also increasing our likelihood of developing autism at 3 years of age. But why is that happening? Is it because of genetics? Is it because of age, gender? There is even question of, is it because of electromagnetic fields that tend to be generated by the devices that we're watching? We're still unsure. But there is an interesting bit of research that's coming out in regards to how we can mitigate the effects of excessive screen time. You got it. Something as simple as getting outside, having a bit of a play, that's enough to keep the brain stimulated and keep things developing really, really well. Hope you found that informative, and I look forward to seeing you next time. But until then, get outside, go have some fun. See you later.